Okay, welcome. Today, well, hang on, look, what we've done so far in the last lesson, we have our trace set up so that we can interact with objects in our game world. We can come and grab some pickups like so. That's all working and happening, and that's all good. And we also, within those, have our interactable interface set up there as well. So let's go and look at this one. And if we look at the class settings, you'll see we have our BPI interactable set up so that when we interact with it, we can call that from our character and it'll do various bits and pieces, which is fantastic. So what I want to do today is, I guess, look at some of the more some sort of more, I don't know, foundational stuff. We've kind of touched on some of these things, other things we haven't, but particularly things like variables and arrays, structs, perhaps, if we can get to those, and enumerators. So these are all things that we can use and come in quite useful when we're actually doing our scripting. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just create a new blueprint. So let's come into here. And I'm just going to create a simple blueprint initially where we can go up to it and we can interact with it. And we're going to have a number of different sounds connected to it. And each time we interact with it, it's going to change the sounds. We're going to have sort of an interactive sound controller thing in our level. So first thing I'm going to do is select the blueprint class and the actor, and then I'm just going to go BP, I don't know, sound thing 01. Excuse me. And Control Shift S should save that. So apologies if you can hear the work going on in the background. Hopefully you can't hear it too much, but there are some power tools happening next door. Okay, so we've got a basic blueprint actor. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my class settings and I'm going to add the interface, which I called BPI interactable. There we go. I'm sure you'll be able to hear that background noise. I'm very sorry. I have some stuff going on next door. There's power tools going off. So I've got a BPI, our interactable interface there. Just going to compile and save that. And I'm just going to throw something in here that we can interact with. So I'm going to add go to shapes, just a basic. Maybe just a basic cylinder. Oops, hello. And I'm going to move that just up so that it's sitting on the base there. Compile, save, and I'm going to add a material just so it doesn't look like that. Oops. And maybe just make it copper. Hopefully that might work. Something like that. And that's going to be what we see in the level. So we've seen this stuff before. So let's just go let's just do it over here. We've got some space right here. So come down here. And let's go to my blueprints. I'm just going to drag this one in here. And well, that's all it is right at the moment, so it's a bit boring. What we can add to it now is some sort of audio component. How about that? So let's add an audio component. So that's fine. Now if we select that, I'm not going to go deeply into the audio. Okay, so we don't have a sound there at the moment. Our other option Oh, in fact, let's go and find a sound. That's probably the best thing to do first. And if we come down to our starter content again, we can go to our audio and select any of these. Let's have a listen to what they sound like. So we've got our cues here. So just very briefly, we have our sound assets, which are our wave files here. And we then have what we call sound cues, which we kind of use. They can do different things. Let me just open this one up so you can see inside. It's pretty simple, this one. So we've got the sound asset there. If we have a look here, it's a sound wave. We've got it set to looping, which is fine. And then we've got some output stuff there, which tells us what's going on here with the output. And yeah, we're not going to make any changes. So let's do that. And we should, with the audio, just be able to grab that one. Okay, and you'll see all of a sudden we get some spheres happening here. That's just telling me the fall off for the sound. So this will be the inner fall off, so where it starts the maximum. We can change that if we come down here to override attenuation. Oh, okay, we've already got some things there. Let's maybe just come down here. It's not showing us. So oh, that's interesting. So let's just do that. Then it tells me the attenuation, volume attenuation enabled, yes. The attenuation function, so we get linear, logarithmic, inverse, log, reverse, natural sound, or custom. Select natural, see what that does. So a few bits and pieces here, and then we get the inner radius and the fall off distance. So the inner radius is going to be this inner sphere. And we can change that if we want to. And then there's the fall off is the distance, is the outer sphere. And we should be able to see those if we go in here as well. So you can kind of see where it's going to go to. And in fact, we might make that fall off a bit less because I don't want to be able to hear it all over the map. So let's just open that up a little bit and bring that back down to maybe something like that. And we might actually make the inner radius bigger. Oh, of course. And then bring that down a touch. So we're going to have the full amount of this sound within the inner radius or inner sphere, and it's going to drop off from there to there. So let's see how that sounds. Let's just do that. And start, and it's over here. So if we go this way, so you can hear as I go into there, and then we get the full thing of the sound. So what I want to do is I'm going to create an array. We'll look at some of the variables and things in here. So I want to talk about the variables, and then we're going to create an array which we can then use to add multiple sounds and select them every time we interact with it. So I'll pause here and we'll come back and we'll start on that.